soul family. Oh, how are you doing this morning? I've been up since, wow, at least 5. And I've been walking my walk and talking my talk. This is our weather. What I want to show you are the 2 pelicans with all of the... Now, what do we have behind them? Are they grosbeaks or are they... They're grosbeaks. And they're coots. No, they're coots. Their necks aren't long enough for grosbeaks. So, the coots and the 2 pelicans. Okay, so the pelicans, it's interesting because they haven't been around. Look at our weather too, it's heavy. The pelican talks about dropping your burdens. Dropping your burdens, stop carrying the burdens of others. Recognize that you need to work together as a team. You're not a solo act. And one of the other main messages from Pelican is forgiveness. And it would have to start with self-forgiveness. Because I woke up this morning and I woke up not because I heard something. I woke up because my heart chakra literally feels like it's going to explode. It started in my high above my solar plexus and moved quickly into my heart. And it's been happening since 5 o'clock this morning. And I said I'm walking my walk and I'm talking my talk because I immediately started doing what I always do to get control of my own, like of my mind, because I had all kinds of stuff going through in my head. And I'm going to share it with you. Mind control. Do you realize that your mind is silently planting emotions, beliefs, and habits in you, which finally sabotage your relationship with success? So this is self-sabotage. Breathe. Deep yoga breathe in. Hold it. Slowly breathe it out. Breathe in all of the peace, calm, loving, nurturing energy, and breathe out all of the anxiety and stress, doubt, worry, and fear. Ooh, and that was highlighted. Still your mind. Find your center. Go deep. Listen. What is your heart of hearts saying? The still, steady, consistent, self-affirming, quiet voice of your highest self. I am peace. I am calm. I am relaxed. I am safe. I am guided. I am protected. I am loved. And I am powerful. I am. Listen to that and no other. Now, self-forgiveness and forgiveness of others is very, very important in this particular scenario since the pelicans showed up. And there's 2 of them there. There's a pair. And they've got a flock of coots. And the coots are about cleaning up your emotional waters, cleaning up what's on the edge of your emotional waters before you can move forward. So there's a flock of coots all around that pair of pelicans. They're not by themselves. First of all, the pair, it's a pair. You're not standing alone. It's either you and your partner or you and spirit. And you have the assistance of all the other archangels. They're all helping you clean this mess up. They're helping you. They're showing you how to do it. They're giving you guidance steps. They're showing you where you're self-sabotaging. They're showing you need to forgive yourself. And you need to forgive others because it's preventing you from moving forward. And right now you're floating in this fog, this heavy fog, on your top of your emotional waters, surrounded by your entire team, but you're still there. So, another thing, you guys have been with me when I've done the readings, and that cat came calling, crying, desperately wanting my love, desperately wanting my attention. But he was owned by someone. Who owned him? He was a cat with a spiked, angry dog collar that didn't fit his neck. It was digging into his neck. It was on the last little notch, about ready to fall off, with a big medallion on the front of it that said, "They call me Cat. I'm out chasing Ho. So let me go. And if you got a snitch, call my main bitch." That's the environment that cat was owned by. That attitude. But that cat was coming here, where my cats are treated better than most people are treated. That cat had bites all over its body, scratches all over its head. It ate 3 bowls of food at one sitting and drank and drank and drank until it was finally quenched of its thirst. Now think about that in the human form. We were talking about, I called him at first I called him Lancelot, and then I said he is my knight in dirty armor. Underneath his black coat there was a silver coat. I called him Prince Charming, and he came back. He's come back several times when we've been doing our readings, emphasizing the messages that we've gotten, going along with the songs that Spirit has given to us, about someone desperately wanting love, but feeling like they're owned by something that's holding them back, and yet he's free to roam. Right? He carries the mark of people who want to make him look like he's a big badass dog, when actually he is the most loving, sweet, gentle baby cat. He's like a baby. He was here all day yesterday and all night last night until the middle of the night. And I sat on the floor in my garage, made a little bed for him, and he laid up against me, kneading like he was nursing on the side of my housecoat. Every once in a while, he'd look up at me and let out a little tiny cry with these big eyes like, "I want to trust you, but I'm so scared." And I just stayed there with him. I couldn't bring him upstairs because he's not fixed. And Liger and Lily would, I didn't know what to do. So I did what I could. And then I left him all set up in there. And then I came to bed. And in 5 o'clock this morning, I heard, "Someone needs you now." And I got up and I ran down into the basement to the garage, and he was gone. His collar's not on anymore. It came off. It was on the last thread. So now he's gone with no collar. And I went to the grocery store at 6 o'clock this morning and bought a bag of healthy cat food and a new collar. That damn tag is the only tag I have, and I'll have to wait till the store's open, but I'll put that tag back on that collar so that if he's out there cruising, there is a phone number on there. They never answer the call. They never answer the phone number. I've texted them, I've called them, they don't answer. So no wonder he's starving. I don't know what has happened to the people or if they just don't care. But I'm carrying it. I'm trying. And that's all we can do. So if you're in a situation where you feel this connection to someone else, I'm not feeling that cat. I'm feeling my twin. I know what it is. I've never felt this way before in my life, except for when he's close to me. And my heart, so now I'm telling you, I understand how difficult it is. When you're in the middle of a panic attack, you can sit there and you can recite and you can say positive affirmations. It's not going to remove all the sensations and the feelings from you. It's going to help you cope. It's going to help you keep your mind straight, because my mind is straight. I know what's going on. I'm calm, but my heart literally feels like it's about to explode. So we do what we can. And if we're in a place of, this is someone else, you ask for love and protection, you give your love and protection, and then you ask to detach. Love in love. And what is meant to be will be. They have choices to make. If that cat comes back, I'll take care of it if I can. My landlord's flipped his switch and changed his mind about, allowing him to stay down in the basement, in the garage. So I'll have to take him and get him fixed. And I don't know where I'll get the money, but it'll come from somewhere. And start integrating these 2 cats. But I might have a battle on my hands, so I'm asking for support from the universe and from all of you guys that my landlord is not going to be a wall, which is interesting because he's the one who told me we had to do that. I got a text message in the middle of the night. I don't know, weird. angry. It's your responsibility. If anything happens, he's out, and we're going to get rid of him. And I thought, wow, who are you? Who are you, and where did you come from? So, obstacles, challenges. We thought that this was coming up. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to turn on the radio. I'm going to see what Spirit has to show us. Wake up call. Oh, we all know. Okay, if you don't know the story of wake up call, wake up call. Caught you in the morning with another one in my bed. Don't you care about me? 6 foot tall. He came without a warning. I had to shoot him dead. He won't come around here no more. I know what this means to me. But if you watch the video, it's about somebody who messed around, fooled around, treated somebody with disrespect, their girlfriend, their boyfriend. And then in the end, she got tired of it and went with somebody else, and he found out and lost his mind. And basically, at the end, they show him in jail after shooting the guy. But it's all symbolic, and he's now in a mental prison because of how he treated this person. And now it's come back on him. And what was it? It was a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. And I got that wake-up call at 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay, we're going to go to 3 decks today. I might as well start working because I laid in bed. I went to the grocery store, did all that, came back, turned off all... I have a major headache. So I understand, don't expect all of your symptoms to go away. They're not going to go away. There's a heaviness. When you're connected to someone, you're connected, and if it's your own stuff you're going through, we can do all that we can do, but then we have to power through it. It's kind of like being in labor, right? This is the rebirth process. This is waking up. This is, the anima and the animus connecting. There is going to be a reaction, and we're going to feel it. And it doesn't always feel good. Just like when you're going to have a baby. You're excited to have that baby. You want that new start. You've been waiting for a long time for this to happen. But when it happens and it begins, the first sign of labor pains, it's exciting, I'll tell you. And then it starts getting a little uncomfortable. And then it starts getting really painful. And in my case, I almost died with both my kids. 3.5 days in labor. The only time I would pass out in between contractions because I was so exhausted. And the pain was so excruciating, it would wake me up, back up out of this dead sleep. Babies both almost died. I almost died. They waited too long to take my son out of the birth canal. So it was my life or his that was going to be taken. And at that point when I heard that, just kind of like the wrecking ball. Remember, we're at the granary. Right before... I heard them ask my mother. I could hear them in my head. I was like unconscious, but I could hear them talking. And they asked my mother, is it your daughter or the child? Choose. And she said, save my daughter. And I came out. I said no. And I was awake and I pushed that baby out and then I passed out and didn't wake up for God knows. I don't think I saw my son no, I did. I pushed that baby out and they put him on my chest. And I looked at this Mexican Chinese baby, and I thought, who the hell are you? And where is the blonde-haired, blue-eyed little girl that I knew was coming? And the nurse put him on my chest, and I don't know if you've ever had a child or have been in a birthing room, but they have you on these metal gurneys that are barely wide enough to hold your body. And she put him on my chest and then turned around and was doing all this work with the other doctors, and I was so exhausted, I couldn't hold him. I was literally like I was paralyzed, and my arms, he was slipping. And I couldn't speak for some reason. I couldn't speak. And I was screaming in my head, get him, get him, get him. And at the last second, she turns around, and I heard her, she said, oh my God, and she grabbed him, and then I was out, gone. I was gone. It was probably 6 hours before I woke up again. And he was fine, and the doctor said he had a hole in his heart, and he was going to have to be life-flighted to Children's Hospital. I was in Poway, California, so he was going to San Diego or something, and that's what I heard them saying as I was fading away. And when I came to, he was completely fine, no hole in his heart. It's interesting. Think about all the metaphorical things that are happening at birth, new birth, coming, waking up, wake-up call, bam, hits you like a bullet. Just like that wake-up call, like a baby being smacked on its bare bum. Bam! Came out of that warm, safe place into this freezing, bright room. loud noise, not held, feel like I'm falling, free falling. That's like us. Maybe when you all of a sudden you have this giant epiphany, this awakening, and you're like, oh my God, I'm free falling. Remember the little red baron? But Spirit's gonna, you put your little freaking helmet on because you're gonna fly. You're gonna fly or Spirit's gonna catch you. That's why the pelicans are out there. There's a team. But it feels like you're free falling. And it feels like you're gonna die. It feels like there's a hole in your heart. You're not gonna make it. But all of a sudden everything's okay. And everything settles back down again. And all of a sudden you've got the most beautiful little gift. The most beautiful, amazing, precious gift that you ever could imagine. But it was hell getting there. And that would be us awakening. It's hell getting here, but what a gift we're given. All of a sudden we can see, we get it. So I'm telling myself as I work through what feelings are not mine, these are not my feelings in my heart. My solar plexus and my heart chakra, I am connecting to my twin, so yes, I am having these feelings, but the anxious feeling, not mine. So I am excited. I'm excited. It's excitement. And I just keep saying, it's all good. It's all good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. But you got to work through it. So I'm working here, talking to you guys. I'm working through it with you. I know that there are other people feeling this. I've been getting emails. I got an email from my girlfriend going through the exact same thing in Wisconsin this morning. I don't know what time. I should look at my, let me see what time she sent it to me. She's like, I got to tell you, the first thing she said, oh, I wish I could see what time it was. It was so early. It was, God, I can't see. It must have been like 5:30 or 6. It's been going on. No, 5 o'clock, 5:08 a.m. Right literally 6 minutes after I heard someone needs you now. And I ran downstairs and that's what I got from her. So I know other people are going through this. So to those of you who aren't going through this, because there is the merging of the twin souls that's happening right now, and it's intense and it's scary and it's exciting, and a lot of us are afraid to hope that this is it, that it's happening, and a lot of us are afraid to see what's going to happen, right? Remember the falling tower that was coming? We didn't know if it was a good tower or a bad tower, but it was coming. It may feel horrible, but it might be really wonderful. But it's the tower, and it's hit me today. So there's my tower, selenite tower. The selenite tower cleanses and purifies and charges all other crystals. It doesn't need any help. It can do it itself. It's a self-charging crystal. All right, first one, Akashic Tarot. It's our message. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Not even at all surprised. Okay, so the lightning bolt. But we got it in reverse. So let's look at this lightning bolt. And that's what happened this morning. A lightning bolt hit that family tree. Bam! Right down the center of that tree. That family tree has been split. And it's been building for a while. Look at the water, the rain that's been coming down, the heavy emotion that's coming down and pooling up. It didn't just happen. That wasn't just a flash flood. That's been going for a while. Now what's interesting is how that lightning bolt has grabbed around that tree. The tree hasn't fallen. And that lightning bolt's holding on to that tree. That is a gnarly storm we're looking at. So, if you see it when it hits, this is the falling tower. This is big time heavy. That tree's gonna split. There's no way it's gonna withstand that. So it could be a splitting apart, right? Disappointment. This is death. And when the lightning strikes from heaven like that, it's unexpected. You don't know when that's going to happen. You can't tell when that's going to happen. But you can see As I said, it's been raining for a while, so you should have had some kind of an idea. But in the reverse, what's going on? How interesting is this? Because the water is up here, and the lightning's coming up from underneath you. It's coming up from inside you, like the Kundalini reawakening, and bam! Exceptional dynamic force and energy. Now, if you see the lake holds the water here. Here it's going to dump the water out. I feel like this is also like the Ace of Cups almost. Because the water will now pour out, and it's one single bolt in one single pool there. So, again, a loss. It's going to be a wipeout, right? When the great wave comes, go to the mountain. So, the storm is going to be ending because the lightning's down. It's gone up. There's nothing coming further here. The water's going to pour down. But there's going to be a massive mess. There's a mess. The tree's been split. The water's all over the place. The great wave comes. After a tidal wave comes and it recedes, look what's left. Major cleanup. It's destruction. It's Kali, the goddess of destruction. Kali came last night. I shared her message. And we have called Kali in. Whenever the goddess of destruction comes, the falling tower, we have called it in. We may not realize that, but by our prayers and our what we've been asking for a change. Something, we didn't want it anymore. We couldn't go on this way any longer. It had to stop. So we've called it in. So right now, your tree's been uprooted, right? This family tree has been split right down the middle. So now it's time for you to set down roots, new roots. Remember, because after every death becomes a new beginning. One door closes, another one opens. Your tree was ripped out. That family tree was broken down. Bam. Split right down the center. And now you're putting down new roots. Like, again, the granary that was torn apart from its sibling building just before the wrecking ball. Just like my son taken, just before he was going to be ripped out of me, I called on my highest self and I birthed that baby. There was a life that was born. He wasn't taken, he was born. And just like that granary taken across the metaphorical bridge over the emotional waters and set down on the other side, facing its sibling, not running away, standing on its own and putting down its roots to now begin the process of being restored to its original beauty and luster. That's what you are meant to do at this time. So you take your energy and move it to whatever you're compelled to. Now's the time. It's happened. You're dealing with this stuff. This is spirit shooting right through you. We are the light. We are the light. This came up from spirit. This came up in reverse. This is gnarly. This is our Kundalini has complete. Look at how it's snaked around that. It's just like the Kundalini. And it's hit our crown. And can you see the phoenix? That is the phoenix rising from the ashes. The whole scene is the phoenix. It felt like destruction. But from that, you rise. I posted that this morning too. How interesting. I just started working. Kali, endings, beginnings. The old must be released so that the new can enter. We've been getting this again and again for days. And then the phoenix. Where is the phoenix? Here, I'm going to give you a few things to help you with, because I know that I'm not the only one going through all of this. So I'm going to help you out. Don't quit. I heard Winston Churchill's recording yesterday that inspired a nation to move past fear. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up. It can inspire you too. Don't quit. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the roads you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, or maybe cry, when all is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint on the clouds of doubt. And you can never tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems far. So stick to the fight when you're the hardest hit. It's when things go wrong that you must not quit. Pay attention to the signs that you're getting. Pay close attention and don't assume, don't try to fit anything into your wish or desire. It must fit like a glove, and it will. Be clear, be steady, stay focused. Let nothing deter you or come between you and your truest desire. Mind control. The phoenix rising. That's amazing to me. Deep breath in, deep cleansing breath. My heart is just spinning and spinning and spinning. Okay, that's our first message. Sure goes along with what I'm feeling and what we're getting. So we take that energy and we use it. Someone said to me yesterday they were falling apart, and I said, no, you're not. You're going to take that energy and do something with it. Surrender to fighting against something. Surrender to what's happening. You can't fight it. So you have to surrender and say, all right, make me a divine channel for your will and help me use this energy purposefully. If you're in a position of active waiting, that's what you need to be doing, active waiting. What can you do when you have partners that have to make choices, or someone else is connected? It's out of your hands. It's in God's hands. But what can you do? You can actively wait. You can use your energy that you're feeling in a way to help others, in a way to propel yourself forward. I couldn't just lay in bed and meditate. It was impossible. I laid there. I tried. I talked and I went in and I did Reiki on Lily. I did Reiki on my twin. I did Reiki on Liger. I did Reiki on Prince Charming. I sent it out. I did everything. I walked my walk. I talked my talk. And finally, I made myself lay there, and I asked, "What is it you want me to do?" And Lily first Liger came to me, and I stayed with him, and then Lily came to me, and I said to Lily, "When you go, I'll go to the other cat." So when she left, I went to him. He was gone. I went and did what I needed to do. I came back. I went into meditation. I started posting like crazy for you guys. And I laid there until I got up and did this. And now that I came, it's interesting because the animal messengers that were brought to us this morning, they're gone. And that happens. That's what happens. They show up to give us our message and then they leave. So it's also a message to me. I just heard in my head. They show up, they get your message, and then they leave. I've got emails. I've been getting emails a lot lately. Somebody wrote on YouTube and said, "I don't start my morning without your messages." Thank you. I don't begin my day before I check your messages. And I know that there are many other light workers out there that are doing the same thing. So that's why I say, what can you do? Actively wait. Do something to help someone else. There are people that count on you. And when you help another, you're helping yourself. When I help you guys, I'm getting my own messages, and I'm working through this anxious feeling. And it feels like shit. I got to tell you, it does. But I know something wonderful is going to be birthed from it, even if it feels rotten. All right, we're going to the Messenger Oracle. Oh, this is so freaking true. Oops, sorry. All right, time to ground. Damn straight. That's what we need to do. We need to get centered. We need to find our grounding because we're probably way too much in our head. Overthinking. You should have heard their songs on the radio when I went to the grocery store to get his food and his collar. It's not my choice to let my mind stay so fucking messy. I know if I would just let go, I'd be okay. But there's comfort in the panic. So that's the self-sabotage. It's like you're used to your monkey mind's stressing you out, and you know that you've got other things that you can do. You either surrender or you act, right? Or you drive yourself crazy. And that's the song, I'm drive myself crazy. The voice is in my head, but it's not my choice to let my mind get so fucking crazy or stay so fucking crazy. I know if I let go, I'd be okay, but there's comfort in the panic. So yes, you do make a choice. You've made a choice to let your monkey mind keep going round and round. And when I talk to people, when people write to me, they'll come to me with this kind of stuff, and I will give them what I'm giving you, and they'll listen, but then they'll argue. And it's not really like they don't mean to argue, but they are, because what they come back at is the same situation, same words over and over and over, repeating over and over, the anxiety and the confusion, and I'm upset and I'm crying and I hate this and blah, blah. And what you're doing is you're keeping yourself stuck. You're allowing those voices to take control. You are not taking control of your mind. I choose what I feel. I choose what I think. I choose what I'm going to do. I choose to be a victim. I choose to be a martyr. I choose to be owned by people, thoughts, organizations. Or I choose to set myself free. I choose to love myself first. And if I love myself, I'm going to make sure that I get grounded and I pull myself down to earth and I realize, okay, yes, I'm a very powerful spirit person, spirit being, but I'm also wearing a human suit. And so I am susceptible to all of the functions and the feelings of a human body. I'm not in a perfect state. So I need to do everything I can to help heal my body, help my body through what I have to go through. The awakening and the twin souls coming together is the most difficult thing you will ever have to go through in your life. You think you're going crazy. Others definitely think you're going crazy. You wish you could just check out, and some people do. Some people literally take their lives. I have never been through anything more excruciating in my life than a twin soul connection. And I almost lost two children of my own. I lost my little sister. I lost my mother. I lost my dad. I lost my whole family. I've lost my homes, my jobs, my animals. I've lost everything. But to lose my twin soul in the physical and to have to be through the separation and yet be connected to this one is excruciating. And I'm not alone. I know that. That's why we speak about these things. So, you see the two up here, right? They're on your mind. This pair is on your mind. The turtle says retreat. Stop trying so hard, and the doors will be open to you. The sea turtle also is talking about going down deep into your emotional waters. Come out of your protective shell. You don't need to protect yourself. You're safe. Look at you. You're inside. Mother Earth has got you. Mama Bear protection. You're completely surrounded in these warm, loving roots, this earth. Your third eye is open. Your outside eyes are closed to this world. I'm not looking at the bullshit all around me, the chaos. I'm not listening to anything any of you say. I'm not listening to you dancing on my head. I'm not listening. I'm connecting. And I'm finding my center, and I am at peace. I am one with the earth. I'm connected to the crystals. I feel my animal messengers. I think that's a quail on top, right? It's not a pheasant. It's hair. I mean, it's a little, whatever the hell that thing is. Its little crown is too small. So the quail totem, an upcoming event will prove to be life-changing, right? Like the tower, but in positive ways. It's not negative. Nourish your body as well as your soul and practice self-love. I got up this morning and I took my vitamins and I had a banana and I had my chia water, nourishing my body, keeping myself in a very peaceful, calm environment. I'm staying away from people. I turn my phone off. I turn off the sound on my computer. I'm not answering any messages. I'm keeping myself in a place of peace and calm. because I need to nourish myself, and I'm going in and I'm connecting with my highest self. Right now, my highest self is in charge. Right now, for you, Quail is saying dreams are manifesting extremely quickly right now. And they want you to trust your instincts and act. Remember, active waiting. The Quail is here to let you know that explosive action is required right now in order for you to accomplish your goal. You must move now before your opportunity has disappeared or before danger overtakes you. This bird can be reminding you that you need to nourish your body as well as your soul in order to foster abundance. Taking care of yourself is a high priority right now. Giving to yourself is just as important as giving to others. That's why my phone is off. I'm not answering your messages. I'm not answering any emails. I'm not going to go to the door. I'm not going to fight with my landlord about this cat. I'm not dealing with anybody or anybody else's stuff but mine. Alternatively, the bird can be letting you know that your need to protect yourself and your energy is heightened right now by laying low for a few days. Okay? So you're going to go in. When I was in Sedona, I was hiking through West Fork Trail. It's called the Seven Sacred Rivers. It's an amazing, incredible hike. You cross the river 7 times. And I went out in a lightning and thunderstorm. And it was summer. You know, it was, tsunami season. I guess tsunami season. And as I was going out, everyone was running in, like literally running. Families were running, kids were running, dogs, they were all running, and people were passing me, and I was going the opposite. I was the only one going in the opposite direction. Now, that's what we feel like when we're going through this awakening process or this twin soul process. It is. We're the only ones going in the opposite direction as everybody else. It's easy to go downstream. It's easy to let go. It's easy to, it's easy to do what everyone else is doing and follow the lemmings. We are going in the opposite direction, and it's hard. But I was going into the storm. Just like, what does the eagle do? All the other birds hunker down and hide underneath and go into their nest, but the eagle doesn't. The eagle goes out into the storm and uses that energy to rise above the storm. That's what the eagle does. The eagle is spirit. That's us connecting to our highest self. So I went into the storm, and some man says to me, "Aren't you worried you're going to get wet?" And I looked at him. I was wearing shorts and a tank top. I was soaked. I have pictures on my Facebook page, soaking wet. And I looked at him and I said, "I don't think it's possible for me to get any wetter than I already am. Aren't you afraid?" And I said, "No, I'm protected." And I went all the way to the very end. It took me 3 hours to get to the end. And that's when I got to the end and was given that special stone. That's my twin with the crystal eyes. But when I was out there, on the way there, I saw quail. And I knew what it meant. Quail means danger. You need to move quickly. And I was too far in to go back. It was kind of like with my son when he was too far in the birth canal. They waited too long to take him because they could have taken him cesarean if they'd taken him earlier, but I wouldn't let them. And then they waited too long, which they could have forced it, but they didn't. And then he was stuck in there. So it's kind of like us. We've gone too far to go back. We've gone too far to go back now. So bear down, right? Like having a baby. Allow this birthing process to happen. So when I saw the quail, I knew it was too far for me to run back. I was in the middle. I needed to go to where the caves were. I needed to go ahead. And so I did. I ran like fucking hell through that forest. And when I went back after the storm subsided, because I got to my caves and I was there, I was safe. I knew I was safe. I saw watchers in the woods all the way down. I took pictures of them. It's crazy. I have pictures you can see in videos. It literally looks like men standing watching me. I was watched by the guardians. There's giant natives on the rocks. I knew I was safe, but it was move quickly now. And that's what I got, and I did. And when I went back after, on the trail that I came forward on, there were trees that were split in half and still smoking from the lightning that hit them. So that's what Spirit's telling you now. If you are in any kind of emotional upheaval or drama that comes into your life at this time, disengage, retreat, ignore the turbulence, stay away from the drama. It's not yours. Not my war, not my monkeys. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Not my battle. You take your drama, I'm out. Disconnect, go in. You can go into a place of peace. You can refuse to speak. No one can fight with you if you don't fight with them. Disengage. This is how you protect yourself. Lay low. Just step aside. So right now, if you're a quail, if this is one of your main totems, you're aware of your surroundings at all times, and you usually are the first to spot the danger. You know how to respond quickly to situations and how to camouflage yourself. Like the fox kept coming up yesterday, remember? Adaptability, flexibility, camouflage. My right hand is sparking. I have energy sparking through my right hand. This is my night hand, but it's also my right hand man. So my right hand man is going through this. There's two of us going through this. If you're a quail, you tend to make socializing a priority. You thrive in group projects. You enjoy nurturing and giving, especially your family. You're romantic at heart, and you love a meaningful and difficult challenge. So this is, like I said, we've asked for this, Callie. We've asked for this to come. It's here. So this is what we need to do to keep ourselves together. We're going down deep, connecting. Remember, what does the osprey say? Important information was pending. We kept getting the osprey, and the Red Hawks were coming. There's a message coming. Stay on the alert. Stay vigilant. And then the cormorants, I kept seeing the cormorants in the sky when we were doing the weekly reading, and they as well as the osprey say, you will dive down deep under your emotional waters, and you will emerge victorious. You will be the phoenix, like we just saw in that tree that split the lightning, and then the phoenix rose from those ashes. It's shit going through it, but it's glorious coming out of it. So we might be feeling at this time, you may not have come up through the phoenix. I haven't gotten to the top right now. So are you feeling confused? Are you unfocused? Do you have chaos and turmoil all the way around you like the quail is saying? You can't avoid it. You can't avoid the falling tower. You can't avoid when lightning strikes. That's divine intervention. That's when God steps in. That's when it's out of your hands. That's fate. Destiny is how you respond to it. And that is how you choose to react. So Spirit's telling you how to react. Take a deep breath. Pause. Connect with your highest self. Go down into nature. Get outside. Go for a hike if you can. Get away from people. Get away from the drama. Seek the silence within yourself and with the world around you. Because that lightning came up from the bottom. It shot you right through your body, right through your crown, and it's going to shoot out the top. But you need to allow that to settle back down inside of you, spiraling back down and anchoring itself. We saw that it shot up through the I shuffled it away. I'm going to show it to you guys. But we saw how it shot up that tree. Right through the crown, and the phoenix was blowing out the top. But now we need to anchor that energy. We need to take control of that energy and anchor it down. So imagine the roots going down. There you are, roots going down deep into the earth. To the other side, anchor on the other side, and pull them taut. Get yourself steady and grounded and standing tree like an oak tree, solid. Anchor yourself. The earth is your cleansing warmth and strength right now. Damn, these cards are amazing, intense. Okay, we're gonna go to another deck, which I haven't used in a really long time, and I'm not really thrilled by this deck. It's very washed out, but it's old school looking, and I've got this thing about old school right now, about vintage, about connecting to past life, to times before we even came here. And this is a Victorian deck. It's called the Guardian Angel. So as I said, if you don't have a twin soul that you've connected with in the physical, your guardian angel is your twin soul. So this deck speaks from the guardian angels. Correct for neutrality on all levels. What is the most important message for us right now? Damn, what's important for me is water. Emotional connection. I'm thirsty. Oh, thirsty for truth. All right. Here we go. Correct for neutrality on all levels. All right. So I'm just getting confirmation for myself and no doubt for yourselves as well. Intuition and insight. See, that's one thing I don't like about this deck. Now, this deck has been beaten up. I mean, I've taken it on rocks. I take my decks everywhere I go on my quests, and so it is a bit scratched up. But this deck always kind of looks like this. The pictures aren't clear, so here we don't need to see it. The guardian angel is rising up above, and the message is your intuitive abilities are very accurate right now. High level of accuracy. They're very trustworthy. You can trust in the guidance that you are getting. It's leading you in the right direction. You are hearing yourself correctly. You can believe in the information that you're picking up, the insight that you are piecing together. Believe it. This is not your imagination. Pay very, very close attention to the dreams, just like the quail was saying. They're very important right now. It might be experience, as I said, from a past life that's affecting us now. Remember I said that when we were talking about DNA and karma and how we may be dealing with a karmic cycle from a past life. It's not even our life now. We're going through all the shit we're trying to work through and cut free from an old karmic cycle, a karmic tie. We want to release it. I release you. What I said this morning is I take back all of my power and I detach and I give you back all of your power. I release you from this soul contract, from the past, present, future, in all dimensions and realities, from here to infinity and back. I release it. I detach from it. Because they're affecting our lives right now. Or it might be an indication of something that's coming. My dreams I have prophetic dreams all the time. Spirit says, don't allow the fear. Don't allow the fear to get in and screw with your head and start the monkey mind going. With its little symbols, bang, 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 on top of your head, like those two quails dancing on your head. Don't allow them to dominate your thinking. You take control. There may be, remember, we were talking about how you thought you were going in this direction. And we said there was opportunities coming. One we were not to take, one we were supposed to take. One was blessed, one was toxic. But we were also shown that we're always told to envision what we want and take action steps. And if Spirit feels that we need to be course corrected, they will course correct us, right? But they want us to move forward. Because they just don't want us to stay still. They will help us. So maybe a course correction is needed at this time. Maybe you thought you were going in one direction and you're heading in a different direction now. You may need to change plans. But that's not a problem. That's just course correction. It's just like for anything that you're developing or anything you're creating. Artists, they don't draw one picture the first time and it comes out exactly the way they want. They erase, they try different things. Musicians that write a song. We're constantly rearranging the words, right? There's nothing wrong with the original. It gets better. So Spirit is watching us as we progress. And they are bringing us the signs. They're giving us the indications of what's going on. They're pointing to the areas of our life that need to be looked at. Now, I'm showing things, and I've shown you guys how Spirit speaks to me. That cat that came out of nowhere. Like the two coots that were in the water. Remember those two cats? One was going to do a sneak attack. Came out of nowhere, calling for my attention, wearing a dog collar, a spiked, angry, brutal-looking dog collar. The cat was the most loving, gentle of souls. Wasn't a big badass. Two different things were represented there. Something being forced upon him and something that he wanted. So I'm shown that in the form of an animal, but it's also something that's being shown to me in the form of the physical world, in another part of my life. Are you forcing something, or are you allowing something or someone else to force something upon you that is not what you want? You are free. You don't have to go there. You don't have to go back. You don't have to agree. You can speak up like that cat did. Ask for help. Ask Spirit for help. Ask friend for help. Reach out. And remember yesterday we were told, receive it. Allow it to come in. And the first thing this morning, the pelicans. You're not an island. You're not a lone wolf. You've been Just like the weekly reading, you've been up in that house, a lone wolf, doing your own thing, but now Spirit says it's time to be more sociable. That's what the Black Phoebe said. Come out, ask for help. Doesn't necessarily mean sociable as at a party, because Spirit just told us we need to lay low. But it's telling you to get away from the solitary, also get away from the drama. One's a positive, one's a negative. You need to know where to go. And where do you go? You go where there's love, where there's kindness, where there's understanding, where there's forgiveness. You go away from ridicule, blame, judgment, anger. You don't go where people put a studded black dog collar around your neck and throw you out in the street and don't feed you and don't give you any attention. Why would you go back to that? That's your choice. You're not a victim. You're not a martyr. Spirit is watching us, and they're presenting us with opportunities. Here, Prince Charming, charm your way into that woman's heart. You know she's got a soft spot for animals. You think of all the places that cat went. It came to this house. It knew it would be taken care of. It knew it would be loved. Spirit guided that cat here. So right now, this is about trusting your own guidance over others. Because remember, yesterday, the message from the Desert Rose was don't allow other people's thoughts and ideas and words to influence you away from what you know is your highest good. They're nattering in your head. Natter, 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 natter. Like those quail dancing on top of your head. Like the monkey cymbals banging, 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 banging. Stop that chatter. Put your foot down. Go and do your own research. Discover the information. Things that you don't know. If there's a secret that needs to be shared at this time, now's the time to do it, Spirit's telling you. With a friend. With a trusted friend. Right now, the energy is very, very moody, right? And so are you. That's what you're feeling, this moody energy. So this is about finding our way to the truth. And this, when I look at this, I think of Archangel Uriel. Archangel Uriel is the one that will light the way. So call on Archangel Uriel. Light the way for me. Show me where to go. If I know where to go and I'm scared, I realize that fear is just nothing but false expectations appearing real. It's not the truth, because Spirit wouldn't lie to me. And I know what my dreams have been showing me. I know what the signs have been showing me. I know the truth of the situation. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care if you think I'm crazy. I know. I can feel it. My heart chakra is spinning to the point of explosion. I know. And I got to tell you right now, my heart chakra is settling down. When I step into my highest power, I take control. When I step out into my ego mind, I lose all control. And that's when all false evidence starts to appear real. And it starts to bring on the worry and the fear and the doubt. I'm asking, I'll ask by the song if we are meant to say any more. We're rolling in the deep. Okay, you had my heart and soul. We got to let go of all of our ghosts. We aren't kids no more. That's the song. Just talking to someone, you had my heart and soul. Somebody backstabbed somebody. Somebody betrayed somebody. Somebody let somebody down. And they know where they're not meant to be. We could have had it all. Rolling in the deep. Think about that. Rolling in the deep to me feels like, you could have been up to your neck in money or up to your neck in love. But you played me. You took advantage of me. You lied to me. We need to let go of why. Why did you do that? Because of ghosts. Why do people do things, negative things? Ghosts of the past. Voices from the past. Are you acting, like I said, out of a past life cycle? Are you just acting like a robot and not taking control of your own destiny? And it's causing you to do things that your higher self would not do? So then the advice is, let go. We've got to let go of all of our ghosts. I've let go. Are you ready? I'm ready. I've let go of my ghosts. Have you? We're not kids anymore. We're adults. We're grown up. We're awakened. We can't go back to sleep. You know the truth. I've got people praying for my prince. I think I'll leave with this message, and it has something to do with all of us, I guess, because I meant to say it. Prayer request for Prince. Prince Charming never left our yard today, going between calling out to us to going to sleep in a little nest he made under the skirt of an old fir tree. Now, remember, symbolic, okay? Metaphorical. I sat at the front door on the floor all day and worked there, my cards and computer set up around me so I wasn't too far from his sight. When I would be out of his sight, he'd get agitated and start crying. As it got dark and he was still out there front, crying and upset, I set up a wicker basket and towels and a fresh cat box that he found on his own and immediately chose to use. Just because he was thrown outside doesn't mean he doesn't remember that he's a gentleman. Now think about this, being thrown out. Listen to that song. You're a gentleman or a lady. He was nervous about the garage, being brought in because he was abused in another home. So I sat down next to his little bed and he leaned up against me as I did Reiki on him. I was, of course, on the cement floor, freezing, while I coaxed him up onto the soft-toweled bed. He would periodically get up, turn around, and settle back down, always leaning his entire body on me. Of course, the entire time I sat next to him, I was massaging him and telling him that he was safe, that he didn't have to worry about coyotes. Think about what a coyote is, a Mexican gangster, right? So think about all of this in metaphorical terms. That he could relax and sleep, that he wouldn't let, that we, because I called on all of my angelic team. I called on the Reiki masters. I was doing Reiki the whole time. I called on our Father. And I called on my soul family, because this is a prayer request that went out. And I'd said, we wouldn't let anyone hurt him anymore. He would lay his head back on my lap and look up at me with these eyes that said, I so want to trust you, but I'm scared. I sat with him for 3 hours. I got up and I got a nightlight. And since every time I got up to get him something, he would go hide under the car, I thought since he had been snuggling his head into my terry cloth housecoat, he knew my smell and it would comfort him. So I ran upstairs, put on my silk housecoat, and took my terry cloth robe back down to extend his little nest area. I then did not sit down, but knelt beside him and encouraged him to climb onto the soft nest. Now think, we can't do something for another. They have to do it themselves. Spirit's giving us the signs, the messages, the safe place to go, the things to do. But it was his choice. He had to do it. He did so immediately, and as he lay down on his side, finally, he stretched out full length. He's a big boy. And he began to knead the housecoat with his little pink nose buried in the material. This big boy was just a baby inside. He was nursing on my housecoat. My landlord is now concerned about his cats and mine and has changed his mind about allowing him to stay there. I took that damn collar that was digging into his neck off. It was falling. And I told him he was safe and he wouldn't be sent back to be abused. Please, I'm asking for what is in his highest good, not what was in my highest good. And that's same with my twin and with anyone else in our lives. We ask what is in the highest good of all. Please happen. Spirit told me a week ago I'd be drawn into a situation where I would feel compelled to care for a person or a pet who had been through a trauma and was suffering from anxiety or depression. Clearly, it was this little knight in dirty armor, my Prince Charming. I'm happy to get him neutered and to introduce him to Lily and Liger. I have successfully merged Liger, who no one thought would accept another male cat, with 3 separate male cats, all successfully. I told Prince tonight to sleep deep, knowing that he was safe and that tomorrow morning he would need to charm the pants off of my landlord to win him back over. We could sure use your prayers to see that happen. Thank you. Now, when I got up this morning, he was gone. He might have gone off to hunt. I don't know if he went back to, but I kept getting the song, whatever will be, will be. And that's the truth of the matter. I've done all I can, just like I've always done all I could for my twin. I've always been here. My love has always been around him. I've always sent Reiki healing, but he has a path to follow, and so do I. My love remains. I am the best friend he will ever have, whether he ever knows it. But that's where my attachment has to end. And so for you, use this example of this is an example for me. I have to pay attention to that, right? The same with my twin. What happened with that cat? I did everything I could. I gave him all of my love. I said, you can come here. Everything, I'm here for you. But then he chose to leave, and that's his choice. And we all get a choice. We have 2 options that are coming towards us right now. Spirit's showing us Don't know what the opportunities are for you in your lives. But one of them is not in our highest good. And one of them is. With this little cat, this option is in his highest good. The life he was living before was killing him. But he has the option. He's not a victim. He's not a martyr. He gets free choice. We are all free moral agents. And it's the same thing with us with spirit. Our Father shows us all the signs and messages, where to go, what to do, how to handle things. We're not going to take away all of the drama. We're not going to but we'll show you how to deal with it and how to and what best to do to handle the situation, to get you through it. He didn't take away my heart chakra feeling like it's going to explode. But I'm working through it, and I know what I'm meant to do, and I'm doing it. I'm actively doing what I need to do. We need to feed ourselves first. And the first thing we need to feed ourselves is love. Self-love is the most important thing. Love can heal anything. As the title of yesterday's reading, love can bring someone back from the brink of death. We've seen it. It can be you. You can do this for others. We just need to trust and have faith. And ask for Spirit's help. If you need to forgive yourself for something, go ahead and do it. And recognize that you will be forgiven by the ones that matter. As long as you act on your words. Put your money where your mouth is. Don't just be spouting off words and expecting people to forgive you when you're doing nothing to show that you're changing. That's your action. Action steps. Spirit shows us how to take action steps. Even if they're baby steps, they're still steps. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Have a wonderful day.